There we go, that works. And then, it does work. Great. Okay, so let me give you a little bit of background about me. Back in 1995, I was lucky enough to get a job at Microsoft working in the hardware group, working on gaming devices. So the Microsoft Sidewinder joystick, that was my first real product that I ever shipped. And I was really fortunate to have the opportunity to contribute to those projects. Then for the next 17 years, I worked across many divisions and groups at Microsoft. I'm a software developer, engineer by trade, self-taught. I don't have a degree or anything like that. But I'm crazy about hardware, okay? Google Glass for me holds the potential for new opportunities. Glass is, okay, I wear glass all the time. I'm recording a video right now. I'm currently at 9 minutes and 43 seconds. Is it okay if I record you guys? Yeah? Excellent, excellent. Now, one of the challenges with recording video all the time is that it draws a lot of power. And for that, here's some hardware requirements for this. When I'm recording video, it records at 720p video. The quality of the video is great. You'll be able to see, I've got some footage. Yes. Make it a little higher. It's too high? It's too low. Okay. Okay, without getting feedback. Okay. Okay. Is that better? Excellent. So, and there were things in the back. Okay. Oh, great. There's some water here for me. Yeah, so where was I? So the hardware on this device is great. It takes a lot of power to drive the video encoding all the time. So my next slide kind of covers some of the drawbacks of the device, meaning that I have to carry around an extra battery pack just so that I can record video continuously without stopping. So, but the camera's 720p, 30 frames a second. It's fantastic. The quality, in my opinion, is just as good as the iPhone 4S. So as far as the saturation and how well it balances contrast and those kind of things. So the Prism projector is a lower resolution. It's fine. It just needs to display text and video, just give you an idea of what's going on. It's not supposed to be HD. But the storage, 12 gigabytes of RAM, allows me to record around 4 hours of video at 720p before I need to offload it onto another computer. And you've probably heard the features for the audio playback as a little bone induction. It vibrates against the skull, and you can hear the audio going through it. It's okay. It's not high fidelity, but it's acceptable. So let me do this. Haha. There we go. Okay, and of course the obvious things, the UI control, being controlled by the voice, and the touchpad is multi-touch capable. So there's some gestures of sliding, closing. You can use one finger to do one situation, 2 fingers to do another situation. The details are dependent on what the application is, but that's about as important as that is. And the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth tethering are pretty good. Now, if you're a developer and you get Glass, one of the nice things is they allow you to output the screen and what you're seeing out to an Android device when it's in debug mode. I'm not going to be doing that today because I didn't have the HDMI cables to connect, and so I apologize. But it's a pretty impressive setup. Now, let me just ask, does anybody have a question, like right off the bat, based on anything I've said so far that you'd like answered? Yeah? Okay, so the question is will there be other ways to control Glass effectively, and so you're not just limited to using the control surface or the voice surface? And the answer is yes. I mean, you can write an application, a native application for Glass, hopefully most of you know Glass is just an Android-capable platform. So you can root the device and load, just raw Android OS right onto the device. So then anything you can do on an Android, you can have Glass do. So if you want to, like for instance, if you want to make it so that, this gets boring, like holding my arm up and, yeah, well, if you're looking through your tweets, like the other night I was laying in bed and I was staring up at the ceiling. That was my reference this morning, if it was a little odd. But I was laying in bed and I was looking up at the ceiling and I was going through the things and my arm was starting to get like fatigue and I was like, this isn't fun. And then I was like, well, what if I have a second device, an Android device, and if I had that on my stomach, then I could just, do some different gestures that would be controlling my Glass, and now I'm really lazy, but really comfortable at the same time. So the answer is yes. It's not a limitation of the platform that would prevent you from enabling it to have multiple different types of user interface. So, great. Okay, so let me go to the next slide here, because there's some good videos that I want to show you guys about the Glass experience. But some of the disadvantages with Glass, at least with the first version that I'm wearing right now, and there was a couple days ago, there was kind of an announcement that Google is now coming out with version 2 that enables like a little headphone jack. You guys familiar with that news? So I don't have that version. Though this Glass is only about a week and a half old, Google sent me a new version because of the second item there. The optics are vulnerable to moisture. Let me go to the next slide and I'll show you. So this reflective foil on the end of the Glass, the current adhesion, whatever method they use to adhere to it, is really susceptible to moisture, to rain. And the first time I was here, there was an awesome thunderstorm, and so I stood inside the doorway and I was filming the lightning, and it got some water on it and it started peeling up on the edges, and I really didn't know why it was peeling up, but fast forward to a couple months and I'm in Seattle where it rains a lot, right? And I was out in the rain one day and the foil completely bubbled up, like just you couldn't use Glass anymore. But Google replaced it just fine. It was perfect. So that's, as far as a drawback goes, the reflective foil is an issue. Extended video recording generates heat. It actually gets really hot. It's one of the most intensive operations you can do on Glass. And in doing so, after wearing it for hours and hours and hours, I'll end up getting like a red mark along this side of my head. What's that old adage, a frog that is in a pot of boiling water, like if it's not boiling yet, he doesn't know he's being cooked until it's too late. It's kind of the same thing with Glass. Like I mentioned earlier, recording the video drains the battery quickly, and Glass, in general, Glass needs to be managed on a daily basis. I have some videos coming up here to show you just how awkward it can be to have Glass on and then be in a certain situation where you need to remove Glass. And there's no easy way to put it in my shirt or my jacket or things like that. So you'll see it. It's kind of interesting. So let's go here. Okay, so this first video that I'm going to show you here, and I'll start by saying I'm not going to go over any technical APIs. I'm not going to go over any details or any information that you could get from Google. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you, what is it like to use Glass on a daily basis? What is it like for new users to use Glass? What do they expect? And what are some funny things that happen when their expectations aren't met? So this first video, though, Men in Black, basically Glass can be thought of as a piece of, jewelry, okay? In this video, hopefully will demonstrate that for you. It has audio, too. Do we not have audio? 1 second. Let me just... Oh, I gave away the reveal. All right. I'm just going to check my my settings to make sure it's not going out the HDMI. sorry, 1 second. And sound. Output headphones. Yeah, it's going out to headphones, so let's try that again. Do we not? So if I unplug it here.
That's Google Glass. Yeah.
So do we not have audio coming out of the? Do we not?
Can I look in real quick?
Pardon?
Can I look in them?
Yeah. All right. I'll just go back one page. He was really happy. He really dug it. So, yeah. Good morning.
Hey, how can I get some of those glasses?
Oh man, I had to wait a year. I put my name on the list last year, and then
no.
It's Google Glass.
Oh, they were Google. They got a convention. Google.
Oh
Glass?
yeah.
So people gonna just be wearing those on the street?
Yeah.
What can you do with them?
Oh man, you
Can
can.
I look in real quick?
Pardon?
Can I look in them?
Yeah. You bet, man. Here, let me. Yeah, the cool. I'm kind of an introvert, so like.
Is it prescription?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. So, and if you're not prescription.
He asked if it was prescription lenses, but they're not.
Wow, that's cool. Huh?
Can I take a picture of you?
Yeah, of course.
That looks really good. Nice.
And the result is this. So he really liked it, and there's something to be said about electronics where people are driven toward them just because they're aesthetically pleasing. This might be just a good moment to show you kind of how cool. Maybe you guys haven't seen this. They sent us 2 lenses. By the way, this is a carrying case for it. It's got a hard bottom, so I can put the glass in and then throw it in my bag, and it won't damage the front end of it. But here's the lens for it, and it's kind of a nice strategy for mounting the lens. What you do is you start it sideways, and then you rotate it under the nose piece, and now I can look like Men in Black. Yeah. All right. So hopefully you guys won't mind. I'm going to do this. I'm going to look like this for the rest of the program. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, and did you notice my voice changed? I'm actually quite embarrassed that I kind of got cool and like, yeah, man, how's it going? Yeah. So I'm embarrassed about that. But actually, now that I've got the glasses on, it's okay. It's totally cool. So, all right. So let me go to the next thing here. So this next video is one of my favorites. This woman just was so adorable. I fell in love with her as she started testing this glass. This video was recorded at Maker Faire. How many here know what Maker Faire is? Maker Faire? Okay. Maker Faire, basically, if you're a maker, you take existing equipment, electronics, you tear it apart and you make something new out of it. It's kind of like the future of recycling for electronic components. Rather than throwing them into a landfill, people are actually making use of them. For instance, laser jet printers, bubble jet printers, they're taking the equipment out of bubble jets and making 3D printers like they have up on the 3rd floor. I love it. So the maker movement, if you don't know anything about it, look into it. It's really awesome. So I was at Maker Faire in San Mateo, California, and this woman asked me if she could wear the glass. And just to give you an idea, she's a usability expert. Okay, of all the people that could possibly try glass out, what she does in here is just floored me, and nobody's ever done quite what she does. So here's her.
Yeah, I got it. Mexico. What? It's the wrong answer. Mexico again?
Is it actually moving the thing when you shake your head? It's changing the option?
No, it's just Mexico. And it's like the result. Mexico? Oh, okay. Okay, glass. Google. Chinese food. Come on, food. Chinese food.
Come on, I'm really hungry.
Okay. What's that? Ocean. So that's only one option? Can I see other option?
I don't, maybe you could try sliding forward or back, so it's like a touchpad on the side, so.
Okay. Where is Father's Day? I said, where is Father's Day?
Where is Father's Day?
Where is China? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, so you're going through the different activities that you've just previously done.
Okay, glass. Google. What? Google.
I shouldn't be laughing. That's
Take a picture. Oh, yeah.
I love it. When people take a picture, they go, the headbangs every time. It's so funny. It's so good.
Okay, glass. Google. American food. Sorry, I
You're
cannot.
really hungry.
Okay, glass. Google. American food. Okay. You can see it from the
Yeah,
front?
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a really tiny screen.
DJ restaurant? Now this one. Change it.
So, so there might be an option to like swipe forward to go to the next search
Forward?
result.
Oh yeah. Hades Spice Restaurant. Can I see the reviews?
I don't know. I have no
So
idea. You're doing something I've never done before, so I have no idea.
So. Okay. That's it. You should have more function. Come on, reviews. Okay, look. How can I go to that place?
I don't know. I don't.
Press it? Oh, direction. Yeah, press it.
Okay.
Where is it? There is no like route. Can I see the route? No. Where is the destination? I cannot see it. But how I...
Is it moving around?
Yeah, but I just see a blue arrow.
Yeah. That's,
Then where is the definition? Are you just following?
yes.
That's not an option. Okay. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, so she was just fantastic. I every time I watch that video, I just love it more and more. She was just really good. So as you can see, you know, as a new platform goes, new user input metaphors go, there's opportunities to rethink how we interface with the device, what we're controlling, what we're expecting from the device. Like when she did the little, you know, dance thing, you know, with it, like if you could do a gesture like that did something different, maybe that would be cool. So she just thought of it, and I thought that was brilliant. All right, this next video I'm going to show you. So you know Murat Yener. He helped organize and set up this program. This video was the first day that I had glass. I had just picked it up. They had just fitted it for my face and made sure that everything was working correctly and that I could see the screen and all that good stuff. So we had arranged to meet each other in the lobby of Google I/O. You know, we hadn't seen each other for a year. This was going to be the first time we got a chance to see each other, so I was really looking forward to seeing him. And here's how it unfolded. Murat! Hey!
I need to check.
Okay. right.
Hey, how are you?
Good to see you. Yeah.
Yeah, we have the same bags.
Oh, great. Yeah, I just bought this today, actually.
Really?
Yeah, because you see the cables going into the top? That's where the battery packs. So
It's protected.
yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah, it's not, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, see the little lights on right now? I'm recording our video of you and me saying hello. So yeah. Yeah, he was really excited to see me. So
Yeah, I need to find my barcode.
The email would have been like countdown to Google I/O in the subject, so that might help.
awesome. Search is so good.
How do you like those?
Oh, I like them a lot. I get a lot of attention. You know, people are.
That helps.
Yeah, I've like made so many more new friends. So.
It's a great way to look at it. I like
Yeah.
the color choice.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely get this barcode.
Okay, so then you're gonna go in line according
So
to your last
as this unfolds, I'll give you a little bit more backstory. The reason why I call this, or I refer to this, I refer to this as seeing through others' eyes, is because later I handed my glass over to Murat, and I let him watch the video through glass, because if you record the video, you can watch it back through glass. It's kind of neat. And you get to see it from the perspective of the person who was wearing it. He was a nobody's last name starts with Y. Are you kidding? In America, right? Okay, sorry about that. I don't know. But he, when he wore the glasses, he was really surprised at the way that he behaved to me when we first saw each other. And so as a device that could help two people understand how to communicate with each other, I thought that was really compelling.
Yeah.
I thought that was really important. Again, I'm just having to chase him around for the conference. He does end up getting his ticket to get in. Of course, he's an awesome person. If I want to come back next year, he's awesome. So, okay. We were lost. We really couldn't find the Y through Z section.
I'm totally lost.
I know, maybe. Yeah, find the closest counter next to that sign. Oh, WZ. Yeah.
So the sign had, X, on one side, and then the W through Z on the other. It was confusing, but I love Murat for it, and I think that's pretty good. So, as far as a device that's compelling and that enables people to see each other's viewpoints from, in a certain circumstance, I think that's pretty good. Here's the other interesting thing about it. If you noticed at the beginning, I recognized him and started tracking him with the camera before he recognized me or even knew that I was there. So when he played it back, his mind couldn't reconcile the time variance. That there was a split in the time-space continuum. It was like for him to see a video of us interacting before his mind consciously acknowledged it was an interesting situation as well. So those are some interesting things. Now, this DVR Your Life, being able to record video all the time, being able to upload it to G+, to share it with your families, is also pretty valuable. In this particular situation, I had gone to a session at Google I/O where they had the founders of different companies. One of them was Eventbrite, the company that helps us do our ticketing system here. And one of the founders of Eventbrite, when she was done talking, she came off the stage, and I went to go ask her some questions. Now, what was important to me when I was asking these questions was I wanted to make sure that I understood what she was saying. Because if you're in a situation you feel uncomfortable, you might not remember exactly what they said, or you might make assumptions about what they meant. But having this video here allowed me to go back later and review it and understanding it better. So this is, if you were able to DVR your life, this might be what it looks like.
I had a quick question.
Yeah.
when starting a company, you don't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
But you want to make sure that the people who are joining you and putting their faith in your idea, how do you make sure that their equity is reimbursed? How did you track effort? How did you know?
It was just the three of us. I probably didn't say this, but it was just the three of us for 2 years. So we really didn't have to worry about that until 2 years in. And by then we had enough revenue to be able to pay the few employees that we were employing. But everybody at Eventbrite has equity. And so what we did, which I didn't really even care about, but we did this, was we took deferred salary and that turned into equity. So we did track whatever deferred salary. I mean, we underpay ourselves, so it's not like we're
No, exactly. But at least relative between each other, there was
each other. I think we all said, okay, let's make a salary of X, and it was something really small. But then we turned that into equity once we did sort of start taking salaries.
Right.
I remember we did do like a deferred comp model.
Okay.
But nobody beyond the founders ever went without salary, so we actually didn't start growing the team until we had the revenue to be able to build. So there was a slow ramp, and I think in hindsight, looking back, I think it all worked out well in terms of timing wise. Everything has kind of come together nicely, so I'm not regretful that we took our time.
And there was a level of trust, like, between the founders.
Yeah, well, definitely between Kevin and I, because obviously we had the relationship. But yeah, our third co-founder, Renaud, was definitely trusting. I think, he had to have some faith in us.
Yeah,
we're fairly upstanding citizens, I'd like to think.
Yeah, sure. Well, great. Well, I appreciate your answer and your time. So it was a great session. So thanks. Bye-bye. So what was significant about this later that I realized was, one, I had a recording that I could refer to in order to make sure that I understood what she was saying, and that, the terms that she was using, I wasn't familiar with. So deferred payment wasn't something that was in my vocabulary. So having that to go back to was really valuable. But more importantly, I was able to take this back to my co-founder and play the video for him. So imagine, you're recording things, you're experiencing things on a daily basis. If you need to collaborate with others or convert and transfer that information, being able to record it and play it back like this is quite valuable. I think there's business opportunities in situations like this. So, all right, questions so far that anyone has? Yes. I am, 36 minutes, 3 seconds. Pardon? Yes. Would you come up for a second and you can touch it and... Let's see. Test, 1, 2. Test. So, does this work? Say hello?
Yes, hello.
No, it doesn't. Okay. There we go. Test 1, 2. Now screen.
Hello.
Hello? Okay. Go ahead and feel the top of the glass. Is it warm to the touch?
It's not much.
Not much? Test 1, 2. Great. So feel on the inside.
Yeah, it's sweet.
And so almost burning?
Bayağı sıcak, yani belli bir süre sonra çok rahatsız edebilir yani. Şu an 2-3 saniyede çok fazla rahatsız etmeyebilir ama yarım saat, 1 saat burada takıldığı olduğu zaman bayağı rahatsız edecek bir sıcaklık var.
Oh man, I almost had it. Okay, I'll get it better. Thank you very much for doing that. So yeah, it is getting hot, and it does feel uncomfortable when you do it for a while. So okay, this next section I want to talk about personal privacy as far as glass goes is when if you're wearing glass all the time and you're using it in different situations where you're dealing with other people, situations like this can occur.
I think it would look good on you.
Okay, so I apologize. It's so out of the way that it's easy to forget that you have it on. So in this situation, I really didn't realize it until it was too late, and it makes other people feel uncomfortable. I mean, you really have to be aware of it. So how can the device be improved to avoid situations like this? Can there be solutions where, like, there's some gateway system when you travel through the door that it signals your device to turn it off and turn off the video? Sure, that sounds like that might be a good idea. So there are interesting business opportunities that are available when a new platform like this becomes possible. Okay, let's go to this last one, and then we'll open up to some questions for you guys. Technical questions about the device, or any questions you might have. So, Profoundly Glass. Okay, this woman that you're about to see is a homeless woman in San Francisco, and we were walking down the street, Murat and I. We were headed to another party, and she gets my attention, and she asks about glass, and I start answering her questions, and this is what occurred.
I watched a session of my friend who is in the GUIT team now. So later he offered me, there was some other guys from Google. We had the hotel and had a beer.
Oh, great. Awesome.
Talked, and they were going to dinner, but I left.
What do you think about it?
About the
Glass.
Oh, it's awesome. It's different, but it's pretty neat.
Is it distracting like they said it could be?
No.
Because you don't see it unless you focus, so it's like
Right.
looking over the top of your glass.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to try it out?
From the stop and say, I said, they must not like it too much. I know you hear me. I want to fuck. I want to know how they work.
Yeah.
So how you end up with a pair? It was like a lottery.
Yeah. Well, so last year when we did the conference, I had to sign up, and
like with the company.
no, I make sure just to come every year. So I look for, I try to scratch up the money to come down, and I live in Seattle, so I had to fly down to do it. And
So does my so-called husband.
oh, really?
Yeah. He ain't my husband, no man.
Great.
But yeah, he's from up there. So you just come for the conference?
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Because
how did you find out about how to get it? Because these people be on there. I just learned how to really surf the internet.
Right. No, that's good. That's all good. No, that's all good. Yeah.
But so how did you end up, finding out that?
You know what? I'm so excited about new technologies, about new
I love it.
things, and I eat, drink, and sleep it. I'm coming up with new ideas, like on how to do this. So
When did you first find out that was coming out to where you how much money?
last year at the conference, they announced it, and they said, if you sign up, we'll let you know when it's available, and then you can pay us, a lot of money, and then.
You gotta go to the conference find out next year stuff coming out the first time.
Right, exactly. So it's a very select people, but they
Because they want more than just the board. They want the general public to try it out too.
right, and they want the people like us who can create new ways to use it, because Google doesn't have all the answers. Right.
Yeah, fix a Google one, huh?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. If there's a bug or an issue with it, we'll find it. Like
So
this.
what's your job? What are you?
Right now I'm trying to get a new company off the ground. Murat's my best friend here in San Francisco, and we're
Don't go to the Shark Tank. They cold.
It's so nice meeting you, Lucy.
Okay, that's cool.
I gotta take off, but yeah, I'm so glad I stopped to say hello. So
I'm glad somebody stopped.
somebody's gotta have the.
Turn the camera off.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna go. Take care. All right.
Enjoy. Watch the light, though.
Okay, we won't go now. Well, so we can talk a couple more minutes. Or are we crossing the street that direction?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Take it easy. Okay, bye-bye. So, who would expect that a homeless person on the street would be so interested in glass? I wasn't. And when she took her head, her hoodie back, she was excited. It looked like she was, 60 years old and instantly turned into a 14-year-old girl with excitement about, oh my gosh, I get to try this glass. People were walking around San Francisco wearing glass that weren't giving her the time of day. So what an opportunity for me to experience it, and for both Murat and I to enjoy that. So, what is glass? It's kind of what you make it. It's how you pay attention to the world around you, and if you find opportunities to bring features to end user experiences, I think there's fertile soil for opportunity there. So that's it for at least these videos. But anybody have? I kind of want to open it up to questions now. So yes.
I want to ask a question about power consumption, because it's a problem, I think. As I see, you use a battery, electricity, and do you have any plan to use some alternative power producing solutions like sun? Why I ask this? Because imagine that in Turkey there are 80 million people, and all of them will start to use this great finding. But this is also a bad thing for electricity consuming. Mm-hmm. So if you can produce it from sun or in a, how can I say, in a... Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
yeah, it's good. So I wonder, do you have any plan to use it? Because for a homeless people, it is impossible to use without a battery. This
right.
device. Yes.
Yes. So there are going to be improvements in battery technology, and specifically the reason why I have to carry a battery around is because I'm choosing to consume or use this device in its most intensive way. So the majority of the users that would be using glass are not going to be filming everything, and so the battery on here, whereas it might only last 30 minutes if I record video in glass, it'll last all day for users who are just getting directions, sending emails, checking their Facebook, their Twitter, and things like that. So, as far as are there going to be advancements in battery technology, and how might that affect the rollout to people with low income? I think it's going to continue to accelerate, and we're just going to get better and better battery technology. Like supercapacitors and stuff like that, I think are pretty incredible stuff coming out. So thank you.
Okay, thank you too.
Any other questions? Yes. Yeah. Teşekkür ederim. The handheld mic?
Can you hear?
No, thank you.
Does it limit the angle of sight of yours? Can you walk with it easily? I think it may distract you while you're doing some important job.
When I have the cable?
Yeah.
So as you can see, I actually have it mounted on my collar so that I can rotate my head all the way around without it binding. But if I was doing heavy construction work, usually what I'll do is I'll put it through my shirt and then through my buckle, but then it makes it difficult to unplug it. So, thank you. What? Pardon? That's the last?
Last few minutes.
Yes, okay. Okay, just one more question, and then I think I'm going to be out and available in the lobby area, so those of you who do want to have an opportunity to experience glass can do so. Just look for the crowd of people around somebody wearing glass. That'll be great. So one last question?
I asked you before about the other guy's voice and breath. When you asked the guys take a picture, but other guys want to before take a video.
Right. So basically, the question is if the user is starting the session in order to command the device, and somebody else speaks up in order to interject beforehand, it'll listen to them first. So that's another drawback to the device, or at least using the input for the voice on the device. So thank you very much for asking that question. Thank you, everybody.